Yo, it's Greenlight B3, man. And I'm gonna do something a little different today, let y'all into my head a little bit. I'm definitely probably gonna be doing more of these, but this is gonna be a little release for me and to let y'all know what I be thinking about in this fucking noggin. So look, Alan Watts is my favorite philosopher, if not, he's one of my favorite philosophers, if not my favorite philosopher for sure. So I just love the way he talk about things. He uses a lot of analogies and metaphors, and so it's really up for interpretation when it comes to a lot of his work, I think. So I'm just gonna spitball off a video. The video's gonna be in a comment. It's the after school video. I got a couple more videos because I try to make sure I'm not listening to no AI Alan Watts. So I got a couple more videos I could definitely recommend, but all after school shit is official. So if you like to watch stuff with visuals, after school is the way to go. So we gonna start off with the fact that explaining things oftentimes makes it more complicated than intended. And I got a little notepad right here, so if you see me looking off, that's what I'm doing. I wrote it down this time, you feel me? I'm trying to be professional. But look, explaining things oftentimes make it more complicated than intended. Watts says there's no puzzle to solve about this universe, and trying to explain the universe is the problem. So in the video, Alan Watts says that an explanation, I'm gonna put the picture up so y'all can read it, but an explanation basically is a vehicle for control. And I'm gonna try to explain that in my head, how it kind of like, what the fuck, how it kind of did in my head. I'm gonna try to explain it the best way that it fit for me. So since it was kind of a little confused and I didn't really get it until later on in the video, so I'm gonna try to explain it with the analogy that he used for something else later on in the video. So he says, and again, this is definitely not verbatim, you can watch the video yourself, but what makes things complicated is explaining them. When a botanist describes a flower and talks about all the fibers and cells within it and the growth time and photosynthesis and all that shit, etc., everyone is fascinated by it. They like how complicated that is, you feel me? How clever God must be to create something that complex. And he goes on to say it ain't complicated at all. You know, trying to put nature into words is the hard part. But anyway, he says the words is a very clumsy vehicle for expression, for sure. What makes things complicated is explaining them. So back to the explanations being a way to feel in control, I feel like the botanist who knows all the ins and outs of the flower feels in a way, it's not, you know, everything is subjective. It may not be for every fucking botanist. Don't kill me for it. When he talks about the flower like a car he built from fucking scratch, like that gives him in his mind, I feel like he knows a lot about it when it's just fucking nature. B, when he grows the flower and attributes it to his knowledge of nature and not to nature itself. When
motherfuckers grow a fucking apple tree and they attribute the large ass apples to the, I don't know, maybe, who knows, they pumping genes and a lot of shit into shit. There's a lot of science that goes into it, blah blah blah, but that gives the scientist a feel of control that he grew this fucking whatever. And you know, a vehicle is clumsy. Words are clumsy. It's a clumsy vehicle.
But in my experience with shit that grows, nature always wants to grow. Like, nature is not in itself like just like, fuck it, I don't want to grow. Nothing starts off wanting to die. And I dare say we may be the only species that seriously considers suicide as a fucking option. You know, I don't believe that action can be seen regularly anywhere else in nature. If you know some something that just fucking thinks, oh yeah, it's a good idea to kill yourself, drop it in the comments. Nothing else in nature does that shit though. Even when a dog is real lonely and it starves itself to death because his owner died, he don't do that intentionally thinking he's gonna fucking die. He's waiting for his owner to pop back up or whatever. You know, the dog that waited at the train for his owner to come back, I think we all heard about it in school. It's like a Japanese story, but the dog died at the train station because he was waiting for his owner to come back from the train, and he died like over doing his business work. The dog didn't know he was finna die. He wasn't intentionally committing suicide. I don't think that's how nature works. So anyway, he goes on to say this a few moments later in the video, and boom, this is real life Alan Watts. We're gonna let that shit play.
And the thing is to get to the point where you can see that you are doing that in every moment of your existence, with every tiny little atom of your body. You now, at this minute, you see, are the whole system of inning and outing. In other words, you often think perhaps, maybe a long, long time ahead, I shall reach the point where I wake up from manifestation and overcome the world illusion and discover that I am the supreme reality behind all this diversification. My friends, there is no diversification. In other words, what you call diversification is your game. In the same way as you chop the thing and then you say it is made of pieces. Well, you forget that you cut it. And so when you see the world as complicated and that there are life problems and that you might one day succeed. See, hundreds and hundreds of people are running like mad after something that they call that is success, and they have no idea what it is. Now then, there's something else. When you understand that, and when you realize that there's nothing to realize, well, it's all here, then what are you going to do? Life, as one looks at it, you see, is in fact a celebration of itself. When you look out at night at the stars and you really wonder, good God, what is all that about? Well, it's a firework display. And it's celebrating High Holy Day. It's whoopee. And the whole world is whoopee. It's a kind of exuberance. And therefore, you realize what a great thing it is. And what a great thing it is not to dissect the world with your analytical intellect. To be able to look out at the water or the trees or at the floor and the light on it in front of you without calling it light or floor or trees or thinking that it has parts or thinking that it's complicated. It isn't.
Alright, so now we down to what kind of made me want to watch, like, do a video about this, because I done watched these videos 1,000 times, bro. I done seen the end panel 1,000 times, but it just really start resonating with me right now. And this is a real hard part for me. I know it's a lot. It's a hard part for everybody right now. A lot of people right now. You see, it's like the world teaches us to chase after things. I mean, but it's also a saying that everyone says, like, you want to be able to do the right thing. You want to do things without losing your appetite, basically. Like he says, I'm not going to this video, but he basically says you're supposed to do things without losing your fucking appetite. So it's okay to go after that success. The idea of, it's like, the idea of success is already paradoxical. But I feel like it's okay to go after your dreams and shit as long as your authenticity is not being jeopardized. If at any point you start doing like little weird shit that's not authentic to you and you start going against your true nature, like that's when I feel like the disconnect, like people can feel that shit. People feel the disconnect, people feel the energy, and I feel like that's when the rat race really begins for certain people, when they start doing stuff that's just not authentic to them. You know, and everybody's not the same. Everybody can't be on the same wavelength, and that's okay. So people just gotta do what they do, I guess. But it's a hard thing. It's a hard thing I've been struggling with, and I just want to know what other people think, because shit, it's hard to want to be something more if you feel like you got the potential and you're not. I don't know. It's hard to be something more, but at the same time, the way I be thinking too, I'm like, damn, is that ego? Is that arrogance? No, I know I'm that nigga. So let's get to it. But yeah, man, that chase for success, that chase for achieving something other than yourself, other than being alive, it's a dangerous game to play, you know? It's a dangerous game to play. And I wanna hear how y'all playing the game of life. I'm gonna do more of these videos though, man. That's Greenlight B3 for you, man. Word to